Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're looking ahead. Everybody's talking about the future of work, and we're focusing specifically on what it means for our Filipino freelancers out there.
Right.
We've got some pretty fascinating data actually from Upwork. They released this report called 2025's Most In-Demand Skills, and it's giving us a lot to think about.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It is. So let's dive right in. One of the things that really jumps out is AI. Artificial intelligence is
It's everywhere.
absolutely exploding.
Yeah, the report's predicting a 220% increase in demand for specialized AI skills.
220%.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, think about AI data annotation. Basically teaching AI to understand information.
Right.
Or generative AI modeling, which is all about giving AI the power to create things.
Okay, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah, these are definitely hot areas. Yeah.
I got to be honest, that number makes me a little nervous.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of Filipino freelancers might be listening to this and thinking, wait a minute, is a robot going to take my job?
It's a fair question.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting part.
Okay.
While there's this huge surge in AI, there's also a growing demand for skills that complement AI.
Okay.
So think about it. As companies are adopting these really powerful AI tools,
Yeah.
they need people to train others on how to use them effectively.
Makes sense.
They need people who can coach and guide, help people navigate this whole tech-driven transformation.
So you're saying it's not just about every Filipino freelancer needing to become like a coding expert overnight.
Right.
It's more about how these trends are creating new opportunities that might actually play to a lot of the strengths that Filipino freelancers already have.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And this kind of brings us to another big takeaway from this report, which is the importance of deep expertise. So, we're seeing a shift away from those more generalist roles, and businesses are increasingly looking for specialists, people who can really dive deep into a specific area.
So how can Filipino freelancers actually use this to their advantage? What are some areas they should think about specializing in?
Well, if you look at Upwork's list of the top 10 in-demand skills, you see things like web development, virtual assistants, creative design, areas where Filipinos already have, really strong presence.
They do.
So now it's about taking those existing skills and carving out a niche,
Can you give me an example?
Sure.
Let's say I'm a Filipino web developer.
Yeah.
How could I specialize further within that field?
Okay, so instead of just being, a general web developer, you might become the go-to expert for building e-commerce sites for, let's say, sustainable fashion brands.
Okay.
Or you might master a specific coding language that's in really high demand for building mobile apps.
Got it. So it's about going from being a jack of all trades to really being a master of one.
Exactly. Owning that specific area of expertise.
Yeah. And one thing that's caught my eye in the report is they said that 74% of executives are saying that formal degrees don't really matter as much when they're hiring freelancers.
Yeah.
It's really about proven expertise and a strong portfolio.
It's all about what you can do.
Yeah, that's got to be good news for a lot of Filipinos who maybe don't have traditional degrees, but they have, years of practical experience and real-world skills.
Absolutely.
So how can they showcase that expertise in a way that really makes them stand out?
Well, building a strong portfolio is absolutely key.
Okay.
Highlight those relevant projects, get testimonials from your satisfied clients,
Well,
and really make sure you're marketing those skills effectively on platforms like Upwork.
So it's almost like creating a brand around your expertise.
Exactly. You're not just a VA anymore.
Right.
You're the go-to person for health and wellness coaches who need social media support.
Yeah, you're positioning yourself as that specialist who really understands that market.
Exactly. One thing that really stood out to me in this report was it almost seems like freelancers are becoming these leaders of innovation. Like businesses are realizing that to stay competitive, they need that, adaptability and those specialized skills that freelancers bring.
That makes sense. I mean, freelancers are usually the first ones to kind of jump on new technologies, new trends. They're used to adapting quickly and constantly learning.
Exactly.
But how can Filipino freelancers really position themselves as, these go-to innovators?
Well, it really comes down to how they market themselves and the skills they choose to highlight.
Okay.
So, Filipino freelancers, they should be showcasing projects that involve things like AI integration or really emphasizing their experience in training others on new tech.
So it's not just about having the skills, it's about making sure potential clients know that you have them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about being that tech-savvy entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Filipino freelancers really need to think of themselves as businesses with their skills as their products.
I like that.
That means having a strong online presence, networking effectively, and constantly upskilling to stay ahead of the curve.
Speaking of upskilling, the report also mentioned the rise of these human-centric roles, even in this, tech-driven world.
Yeah.
They highlighted career coaching as a skill that's in high demand.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, that kind of surprised me. What kind of opportunities do you think this presents for Filipino freelancers?
Well, this is where I think Filipino freelancers have a real chance to carve out a unique niche for themselves.
Okay.
Filipinos are known for their warmth, their empathy, and their excellent communication skills, all of which are essential for coaching and training.
Right.
So imagine Filipino freelancers positioning themselves as experts in helping people navigate this changing world of work, especially when it comes to AI and automation.
Okay.
So they could be coaching individuals on how to adapt their skills, or even training entire teams on how to work effectively with AI tools.
That's a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's like flipping the script. Instead of worrying about being replaced by AI, Filipino freelancers could become the guides, the mentors, the ones who help others thrive in this new landscape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And think about the potential market just within the Filipino freelance community itself.
Right.
You could have experienced Filipino freelancers coaching and mentoring aspiring ones, sharing their knowledge and helping them develop those in-demand skills.
It's like a win-win.
Exactly. We could even see, specialized coaching programs pop up focused on helping Filipino freelancers market their skills to international clients.
This is making me think, what if there's like a dedicated platform or community specifically for Filipino freelancers?
That's a great idea.
They could connect, share resources, learn from each other.
Absolutely. It could be like a central hub where Filipinos can showcase their skills, find mentors, collaborate on projects.
Yeah.
They could even pool resources, to offer joint training programs or workshops.
So it's about empowering Filipino freelancers to not just survive, but to really thrive in this future of work and supporting each other along the way.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's bring it back to that individual freelancer for a second. What are some practical steps that aspiring or even current Filipino freelancers can take to position themselves for success in this, changing world?
Well, the first step is self-assessment.
Okay.
Really take stock of your existing skills, identify your strengths, and think about what you're truly passionate about.
Okay.
Then look at those trends we've been talking about and see where your passions intersect with what the market is demanding.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where your skills meet the needs of the world.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to specialize. The more niche your expertise, the more valuable you become.
Right.
So think about how you can differentiate yourself from the competition and become that go-to person for a specific skill or service.
Okay, so what about those who are just starting out? Maybe they're fresh out of college or looking to transition into freelancing. What would you recommend for them?
Don't be intimidated by all these trends. Embrace them as opportunities to learn and grow.
I like that.
There are so many free or affordable online resources out there to develop new skills, especially in areas like web development, digital marketing, and even AI fundamentals.
Okay.
Start small, build a portfolio, and don't be afraid to reach out to more experienced freelancers for guidance.
Yeah. It's never too late to start investing in yourself and building a future-proof career.
Exactly. And for Filipino freelancers who are already known for their resilience and adaptability, the future of work is full of potential. Yeah. It's about embracing change, leveraging those innate strengths, and building that community of support to navigate this exciting new world together.
All right, so we're wrapping up our deep dive into the future of work for Filipino freelancers, and we've covered a lot of grounds from AI to specialized skills to the power of, human connection. But before we go, I want to circle back to that individual freelancer listening right now, maybe feeling inspired, maybe feeling a little overwhelmed. So what's like the one piece of advice, the golden nugget you'd leave them with?
Oh, that's a great question. If I had to boil it down to one thing, I'd say don't underestimate the power of your own unique perspective. You as a Filipino freelancer, you bring a really special set of skills, experiences, and cultural insights to the table.
You mean like that Filipino warmth and hospitality we talked about?
Exactly. But also the resilience, the adaptability. Think about the resourcefulness that's often born out of challenging circumstances. These are all strengths that are incredibly valuable in the ever-changing world of work.
So it's not just about, learning the technical skills. It's about bringing your whole self to the table.
Yeah.
Your Filipino identity becomes an asset.
Exactly. The world is looking for diverse perspectives, authentic voices. So, embrace what makes you you and let it shine through in your work.
This has been such an inspiring conversation. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that the future of work is really full of possibilities for Filipino freelancers.
Yeah.
It's about embracing change, specializing, and showcasing those unique strengths.
And I'd add, don't forget the power of community. Connect with other Filipino freelancers, share resources, learn from each other, celebrate your successes together.
Because at the end of the day, it's about empowering each other to thrive in this exciting new world of work.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to all our listeners out there, we leave you with this final thought. What unique skills and knowledge do you possess that could be in high demand? What's your story, and how can you share it with the world? Go out there, explore those opportunities, and create your own success story. We're cheering you on every step of the way.